Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to our SOMA Breath event, Be the Change. And we got hundreds of people here already. Big welcome to everyone. Good to see you all. My name is Jason Mark Campbell. I will be your host for today's session, introducing the wonderful Niraj Naik, who's going to be guiding us through a powerful journey and showing us some tools to navigate the current times. Now, as we're on a big group call together, I'm going to take a little moment to do a call out. I am spotlighted, but I want to see all of your faces, so let's remove that. If you turn on your camera, means that I can see you, you can see me, and we can see each other. So you can take a moment right now so we can just make sure to acknowledge each other. And I'm just going to say a quick hello. If you guys want to wave your hands as well, I get to see you. Mary Grace was the first one I got to see. Lisa in a blue Oasis background. That's wonderful to see. We got Lainey joining in as well. Zara, we got Sonia. Good to see all you wonderful people. And I'm going to have a little bit of an education moment with you guys. If we're on Zoom, I want to show you some of the functions that we get to use on Zoom. So if you're not turning on your camera and you still want to interact, I see some of you already beat me to the punch. There is a react button on Zoom. And if you hit that react button, you can send some hearts, some claps, some notices, thumbs up, whatever it is. And during the session, during the presentation, it's a really cool tool. There you go. You guys. Now, sometimes I'm mirrored. I feel like I'm pointing to it right here. And so this is very, very lovely. And I wanted to do something I've never done on these sessions, so we're all going to get to do it together. We're here to breathe, and I thought we could all take a giant breath together. This will be the only time that I'm going to unmute the entire room, and we're all going to take a deep inhale through the nose and go, ah, so we can be present for the session. A little reward for those of you showing up on time. So as you are all giving permission to unmute yourself, let's create a little bit of chaos. Take a deep breath through the nose. Now it all sounds to the dentist, and they're getting a beautiful view of our teeth. Guys, welcome. We're going to be having a lot of fun. We're going to spend over an hour, perhaps up to 2 hours together to make sure that we have an incredible experience together. You get to breathe, we get to learn, and we get to share as a community. And speaking of a community, I want to highlight the worldly community that we have. Some of you have already shared in the chat where you're tuning in from. If you haven't yet, take a moment to do so, because we're going to get to bring up the map and see where everybody is tuning in from, whether that's a city, country, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. If you want to say world, maybe you'll appear in the middle of the Pacific, and that's okay too. And so we got some people tuning in from everywhere. And I just want to acknowledge the Australian that tuned in. I see someone is out there. I believe that is Melbourne. Could be Sydney. I do apologize if I got that wrong. But you are tuning in, I believe would be 1 in the morning. So kudos to you. Same for somebody out in Perth. Philippines. I know we have Monica on the call here. I believe someone's tuning in from South Africa, a couple out from Turkey. We see Europe's got a whole lot of clusters forming here. I see a lot of Eastern time zone right around New York, Canada, Toronto. We have some people just north of Colombia there that might be around Panama. I think I see someone out in Uruguay, or perhaps that's still Brazil right there. And I'm seeing some, I believe it's Oregon. I believe somebody figured out how to draw on the map. Don't make any graffitis on the map. Guys, this is amazing. Seeing everybody tuning in to be the change. That's going to be the theme of our entire month. It is Stress Awareness Month. And this is why we're going to be putting together sessions that will teach you how to regulate your nervous system, how to navigate the changing times. Because let's be honest, there's a lot going on, isn't there? And so I just want you, if you want to take one of your hand, that could be the left hand, the right hand, choose the hand that's the most powerful for you. And we're going to do a little something together. So raise the hand so I can see it. If you have your video turned on, I can see you. And you're going to go and pat yourself on the back because you've taken the time to give yourself time for you, for self-care. Because if you start taking care of yourself, we might be able to be better at taking care of this world, huh? So much love there. And now we see we have an entire world together. So let's go beyond the world and just see who else is here. So if you've never done a Soma Breath journey before, you can type in one and say you're new to Soma Breath. If you've ever done a Soma Breath session before, then you can say that you're a regular and type in two. And if you're an instructor or planning to become one, you can type in three, and it'll give us an idea of who's tuning in on the call today. So we always like to get a little pulse of who are the regulars joining. And to be honest, I'm very excited to see a lot of new Soma Breath practitioners that are going to be doing their very first Soma Breath session here because this will be the last time you'll ever get to answer this question with a one because you will have had your first experience, which will automatically make you a regular. We know how powerful it is, and you're about to find out as well. So yeah, just type in one if you are new. And it looks like we're pretty split. We got a lot of instructors that are joining us. Of course, we do have amazing instructors in our tribe. They're coming on these calls. They know how powerful it is to see Niraj share some new insights and take us on powerful journeys. So good to see our instructors. If you are an instructor, feel free to rename yourself on Zoom with your name and followed by Soma Breath Instructor, and we'll get to witness you guys. And for everyone else, glad to see you all here. And there is a question we like to ask when people join these sessions so we know where's the current vibe, because we're all in a practice to change our states. This is the power that breathwork brings. And so if we want to see if we've done a good job, it's very good to do a measurement. And since Soma Breath is a very scientifically validated approach, let's bring in some data on how we're shifting the group, yeah? So we're going to go with a rating system of how you are feeling right now. 10 out of 10, you are feeling top, super. 1 out of 10, not so great. Where are the energy levels as you show up to these calls? Our goal will be to see how we can make an immediate impact with the short amount of time we're going to spend together and you getting to do a Soma Breath practice. And don't put any fractions. We're not going to recognize this. Don't go to 11 and 20 because I know some of you are go-getters and you want to be, no, 1 to 10 so we recognize it. And be honest with yourself. And for any of you who have rated 1, 2, 3, 4, this is a safe space. And we are going to make sure that we get to support you in this powerful modality. And I just want to witness and honor your honesty with yourself, your self-awareness. And if that's where you're starting right now, great. It's a starting point. If we can make an effort where we move you from one notch, we will have done something magical. But I have a feeling we might be able to do more. Why? Well, you're about to experience an incredibly powerful methodology with Soma Breath. Now, I'm going to be introducing the man who is going to be leading you for tonight. He is the founder, the creator of the Soma Breath methodology, a man who has had a background in music, has been able to be as the renegade pharmacist, looking at what was happening to the world where people were just taking pills to try to solve all their problems. And what he was able to discover in his own healing journey is we have all the tools within ourselves to be able to self-heal. And a big part of that comes from the breath itself. He has designed the technology behind Soma Breath's methodology, and he's going to be here to share more about how to be the change, how to use this powerful tool to navigate the current changing times, and to regulate your nervous system and heal what needs to be healed so we can live our lives to the fullest. The man is Niraj Naik, and he will be your instructor leader for tonight. So remember that react button I showed you earlier? Now is the time to use it to give a warm welcome to Niraj, who will be leading you today. Niraj, the floor is yours. Take it away. You know, it would be hilarious is that he's not here. I assume he's here.
Here, I'm here. I was just
I would have been.
I was just asking you just to tell me how I was sounding, and then I realized I had it on mute.
Oh, well, it's very hard for me to get that feedback with the mute, but now you
Exactly.
sound lovely, and I'm going to make sure that we all get to see you as well. So there you go.
Beautiful. All right. Okay, so I'm back in Ibiza now, and you might be able to see a little kind of a pinkish, purplish Soma Breath branded tinge to my studio. But I have set up a new little space for doing our breath sessions from. Not just breath sessions, but sometimes we also do a bit of dancing and moving and shaking. And like the topic of what this whole month is about is about stress, right? About it's stress awareness month. But I don't believe there should be just one month that's dedicated to being aware of your stress levels. I think this needs to become a lifelong habit. So it's kind of funny that it's stress awareness month. There should be something we're always keeping in check with. So hopefully by the end of this 4 weeks, you're going to be, if you tune in every single week, really, really well educated and informed in how to take care of all the things that life throws at you, which you cannot actually control on the outside. You can't control when there's a ceasefire or not a ceasefire. You can't control when one insane lunatic politician is threatening another one, right?
I need
You,
to jump in really quick, Niraj.
yeah.
It sounds like we have some people on the call who are having audio issues. So
Is
I'm
it?
wondering if there's a possibility to bring that microphone closer, cranking up the gain. I'm doing a test right now. By the
It's
way,
pretty
I'm
full
watching your
volume.
comments. Yeah, okay, that's even better if you're bringing it closer. And I'm
How's
hearing it
that?
quite stereo. So I heard some people mono, but no, I have it stereo here.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, is this sounding better, chat? Yeah, I see some people saying they hear super with headphones. I
It
just
should be
switched to
fine.
headphones
Should be
and I
fine.
hear perfectly as well. So,
Okay.
so yeah, everything's great. Take it away, sir.
All right. Cool. Because the volume is pretty high on my side. All right. So, yeah, what I was saying was that look, we can't control all of the craziness that is going on in the world right now. Okay. But what we can control is our reaction to it. That's the only thing we are able to genuinely control. Is that right? I think you probably agree with that. Nobody wants all this stress and suffering in the world. But the thing is that you need a little bit of stress too in your life to make it interesting and fun and to have a bit of emotion. Emotion's how we experience life. So we need a bit of stress, but we don't want to have to deal with the kind of stress that paralyzes us, that actually stops us from enjoying life at all. So that's the kind of stress we're going to be talking about. And how to also empower yourself to use stressful situations for your best breakthroughs and opportunities, as I have managed to my whole life. Somehow managed to bounce back from some pretty dramatic setbacks, right? And very stressful situations. One of them being an autoimmune disease, which left me housebound for almost a year, which was, one of the most, if not the most stressful things I've ever gone through, and which anyone I know has also gone through can relate to. So just want to confirm one more time that my volume's okay because it's really loud on my side. So it has to be the fact you're not turning up your own volume. Can anyone just confirm?
Yeah, I have you loud and clear on my side, so I think
Yeah,
we have a lot of people that hear
yeah,
well. So if your volume is not loud, please use the volume up button on your
yeah.
computer. But yeah, there could be something there because I hear you loud and clear, and so I think you should continue.
Okay. All right. So yeah, maybe people are saying that my volume is for some reason low. So I'm just going to try one more thing. What about now? What
I'm
about
not
now?
nec- I'm not noticing a difference. It's already pretty good.
That's what I
Um,
thought. Yeah.
yep.
Okay, let's just go with it. Okay. All right. Perfect. So sometimes Zoom has some jiggery pokery that goes on in the background, which affects the levels. You know, sometimes you have to log in and log back out. I mean, log out and log back in, and that usually solves some issues on. Um, See now people saying, "Wow, I'm not loud enough." So it's probably just Zoom figuring its stuff out. Okay, so where are we? So yes, so I'm gonna help you get really empowered on how you can turn around very stressful situations that might happen in your life. And I just want to check in right now. Who would say on a scale of, let's say, 10 is the most stressful moments they've had in their life, 0 is the least. Where are you on the scale right now, would you say, if you were to grade yourself? Okay. I love this. I love this tool. This is so much easier to analyze. So, moment an average of about 6. Looks like an average of around. So it's not too stressful. There's a few of them who are experiencing it right now. So there's a few people who are completely free of stress. Empty. Lucky you. I would say I'm kind of in the middle at the moment myself. So the thing is with stress is that let's talk a little bit about the biology of what it does. So I'm not going to go too deep into the biology, but I think it's good to understand what's happening to your body when you get that like racing heartbeat and sometimes sweating and all those good things that happen when you get stressed out. So we have a part of the brain which is a reptilian brain. The reptilian brain's designed to for your survival, right? All it cares about is your survival. It doesn't care about anything else. And it's always on high alert. It's always looking out for what's safe and what's unsafe. And people have different thresholds of what that's set to. So imagine there's a gauge that everyone's reptilian brain is set to the level of safety and fear they're on the lookout for. Now, some people have like a very short threshold for fear and feeling unsafe. And so for them, like any stressful encounter can completely shut them down. Because all the reptilian brain does is it puts you into a certain response. It's called the fight or flight response. And this is where you get like a burst of adrenaline and cortisol that gets you ready to go into battle. Now, either to go and actually fight away the stress or to run away from it. And this was good and useful back in the day when we were living in a jungle. We were like tribes people. When a threat came in, we would easily be able to like go into battle or run away from that stress. But as soon as the stress is gone, you go back to normal. So you're fine. right? Stress switches off after a while. But these days, those external threats in your environment, which used to be things like lions, tigers, bears, other tribes, are now bills, deadlines, bosses, relationships, the news, the media, TV, politicians. So your reptilian brain, this brain stem, doesn't switch off. It's always on high alert. And that therefore you end up becoming like swallowing in a sea of stress hormones, literally. So this is the problem that we're facing in the world. We don't have an off switch for stress. Now humans have one. Animals have one. Humans have to learn them. Animals like cats, dogs, you'll see them, they shake it off. They shake stress off, right? And humans, what we can do is we can actually model what animals do. This is yoga. If you look at yoga from a deeper level perspective, a bird's eye perspective actually, you'll see that a lot of the yoga practices are modeled after animals. They even have names named after animals, what animals do. Okay? Like downward dog, you've heard of that one. Cobra, all right? But there's a lot of other techniques in yoga that don't involve like asana. They involve like breathing techniques, which is what we call pranayama. And even some of these techniques are modeled over animals. Same as some of the somatic practices that you'll find in like tantric yoga. One of them models what cats and dogs do when they get stressed, which is they shake it off. They release the stress and they shake it off. So this is one of the quickest ways to release stress from the body, the soma, is with shaking. All right, we're going to do a bit of it very soon. So that's one method, okay? That's one of the off switches of stress that you can model from animals. Now the other one is simple one, is just controlling your breath. And you can model different emotional states just by breathing the way you would breathe in those states. Now if you observe someone who's very calm, okay, and peaceful, you'll see that they hardly look like they're breathing at all. They're hardly breathing at all. And what you'll also observe is that their exhale is very relaxed and will be longer than their inhale. So when you breathe out, you stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. When you breathe in, you stimulate your sympathetic. When you breathe out longer than you breathe in, you turn on your parasympathetic. So if you have a very relaxed exhale, where your exhale is longer than your inhale, you turn on your parasympathetic. Your parasympathetic is your rest mode. It's what turns on your relaxation response. All right? So by just simply doing that, when you're stressed out, making a sigh, even making a sound like a or a home, is just saying Om, right? Chanting Om. By making a sound, a vocal sound, Om, like that, we turn on the vagus nerve, which is what tunes the parasympathetic. And we exercise this vagus nerve, which calms us down. And you may have all heard of vagal tone and vagus nerve activation and stuff like that. It's very familiar terms these days. But if you haven't, your vagus nerve is your off switch. Simply making a sound, Om, right, will release stress, will turn on the parasympathetic, will make you calm down. Also just breathing like someone who's calm. So if you're like all huffing and puffing and you just calm down, slow your breathing right down, slow it down, you turn off the stress. Okay, so by changing how we breathe and by doing things like shaking, we have very quick, easy off switches for stress. that we can use in the moment. Then the rest of the practice, the rest of the work, which we're going to be going over the next few weeks, is how do we change our perception of stress? How do we change the perception filters so that we have a higher threshold to stress? Because the most powerful people on the planet, the most successful, the ones who really push humanity forward, they have a different way to deal with stress. They have a different way to deal with fear. It's almost like they have no fear, right? It allows them to take bigger risks. It allows them to do more harder work, push through when others would give up. Okay, it gives people determination, strength, resilience. So when life gets hard, you're still able to get through. You don't just give in. This is a muscle we can actually activate. We can enhance, right? We can work on this. So I'm going to teach you all of this over the next 4 weeks, right? Well, today and the next 3 weeks after this. But we're going to really help you expand your threshold to dealing with stress, because I'll be completely frank, we're about to enter into a very, very stressful time for humanity, for a lot of people. So if you think COVID was bad, okay, this could be worse. Unless some miracle happens, like UFO, disclosure, aliens come down and Vulcans basically tell everybody everyone's good, just chill out. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not sure about that. Maybe not yet. Maybe it will happen at some point. But, that means we've got to deal with, we've got to be prepared. So I think the reason you're on here is because you want to get prepared. So what we're going to do first to get everybody on the same vibration is we're going to shake off all of the stress that we've come to this experience with today. And we're going to do like an extended version of our shaking ritual. Okay? So bear with me while I pull this up. I've got a really cool track I want to play for this. Just bear with me. I need to just find it. And then what I want you to do is clear out all your space so that you can be standing and you are not going to get hurt by anything. So clear everything out, move all the clutter away. Okay? And I'm just going to get this track. So there's a brand new track, hot off the shelves. That's why I'm very excited to play it to you, because we happen to have in-house in SOMA Breath some of the best musicians on the planet. We have incredible, incredible musicians in SOMA Breath. And one of them is a guy called Hernan Suarez, who goes under the name Onania. And Onania is, it's his stage name, is like some of the most incredible, like organic, ethnic world music that you'll ever hear. And he's in Ubud right now in Bali, and I watched him perform. And I wanted a new track for shaking to, because I love shaking. I love this practice, and I wanted something fresh. So he cooked this one up for us. So we're going to do this together right now. Okay. So bear with me. Loading it up.
While it's loading up, I will remind everyone that if your camera is turned on, you might get a chance to be spotlighted. So be sure to shake it out when we do.
Yeah. Okay. So he literally just gave this to me, so it's hot off the shelf. Never heard before. Nobody's ever heard this one before. It's really cool. Okay. Let's go. So what I want you to do is get up. You're going to stand up. And you're going to have your feet hip width apart.
Niraj, confirming that you are sharing the computer audio for this track.
Yeah, I'm just setting up. And you're going to just follow along with me, okay? So I'm going to give you some instructions to follow. But let's do that right now together, like this. Just to get clear on how this works. You will have your feet hip width apart, like this. Arms by your side. And you're going to imagine you're on a vibration plate. So imagine you're at the gym and you're on one of these vibration plates. Okay, and it has a dial. You can imagine there's a dial that goes all the way up to 11. So we're going to start the dial at a 1, which is a short tremor. Okay, the tremor starts with your feet still stuck to the ground. Okay, and the vibration moves up your ankle and you just shake like this. Okay, so it's like a little tremor vibration. All right, and then you're going to watch your breathing. When you breathe in, so you do that. Now I'm going to put on the music and we're going to do it with the music. And then I'm going to guide you by helping you turn up the dial throughout the experience. And we're going to go for about 10 minutes. So let's go. That's right. So now just come into stillness and just tune into the sound for a moment. Become aware of the sound of my voice. This should be your guide. So, for this, the only intention you need to set is for you to just get completely engrossed in the experience. So we're going to begin with level 1, shaking, vibrating, the short tremor. And remember to breathe and let go on the exhale. Keeping your arms really loose. Now as you're shaking, we're just going to start tapping all the way up your arms. Tap, tap, tap everything. Long exhales. All over your chest. So it's your abdomen. We carry a lot of gas here when we're stressed. So just push all the gas out. You might burp. You might let go of some gas while you're doing this. It's a good thing. All the way down your abdomen. Let out any gas. That's good. Alright. Back to shaking. Turning up the dial a little bit more, 2 to a 3. Starting to feel the tremor moving up to your thighs. Shake. Now shaking your arms a bit, up from a 4 to a 5. Keep shaking, don't stop shaking. That's right, we're going to stay here at this vibration for a few minutes. Remember to keep your feet stuck to the ground, don't jump or bounce yet. Long deep breaths, exhaling on every exhale. Going up from a 4 to a 5 now. Increase the tremor. You might start to feel your jaw starts to loosen. Tongue becomes looser. Shake, 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 shake. Vibrate, shake it up. Now turning up from a 6 to a 7, really shaking now, full power. Stable to a rate, your whole face and body starts to shake. Shake, 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 your whole body shake. Vibrate, vibrate. Now, come into stillness. Feel the vibrations moving through your body. Might feel like electricity right now inside you, vibrating. Notice how that feels, how good that feels right now. Feel that energy. Imagine now waves of stress washing off you right now. All that old energy is released. Let go. Now imagine if God, the universe, the higher power, the spirit from where you came, gave you a colour, and that colour of light, the ability to fill you up with new energy, powerful energy. What would be that colour? See it right now. And just step into that, as though you're stepping into a channel of that colour right now. And it's beaming in from the top of your head, all the way down, through down your spine, grounding you to the earth. Just stand in its power right now. That's right. And then breathe it in. Breathe in the energy, breathe it in, hold it. And see yourself filling up with that energy as you hold your breath in. And then release with a hum. All right. So that was the first practice. Now come back down to your seated position slowly, taking all that energy with you. That's right. And now just tuning into how you're feeling right now. Just let me know. What changed? How do you feel? Any release? Peaceful? Beautiful. Very grounded, clearer, smiling, joy. Beautiful. It works, right? Now look, you only even need to do a few minutes of that for it to work. Just a few minutes of this will work really well. It's very powerful, very easy to do. So whenever you feel stressed out, let's say somebody says something to you, right? Well, say you read something on the news or something, and it triggers you, and you feel that icky feeling. You can shake it out, right? You can shake that energy out. You have that method now. It's so easy, so simple, right? So that's the first step. Now, who felt something not so good from this experience? Did anyone feel like this was horrible, like it made them feel bad doing it? Don't be shy. All feedback's welcome. Heavy in my feet, okay? Let's see. Send me a bit dizzy. Okay, interesting. Anyone else? I struggled, feel stiffness in my neck, seemed really hard to go through it. Okay, so here we go. So now this happened to me when I first ever did this. Okay, and somebody says they cried. Throat dry on the exhale, yep. So this can happen. Right now, I had this problem. Like over years of layers of stress building up in your life from different experiences, different events, what can happen is your body becomes rigid, becomes stiff. especially if you don't do that much physical exercise either, right? If you're not like somebody who does yoga and stretching often, you might get rigidity in the body, and this can also happen as you get a bit older, right? And emotion and hormonal changes happen. You can you can actually get this kind of rigid body, and so any practice like this can be difficult at first. But actually, this is one of the best practices to do if you feel like your body's become stiff and rigid. It really loosens you up because it's clearing out old tension. So your ligaments, your bones, your muscles, connective tissue, all of it, your fascia stores information. Okay, and your soma, is your body, is part of your intelligence, your consciousness. So when things happen, emotional experiences happen, they get stored somewhere in the body as information, and that can create more tension, more paralysis to take action, because your body's trying to prevent you from doing the things that you would do that would get you into that situation that was stressful, that caused the trauma. We're going to talk more about trauma later, but this practice can help unwind years of rigidity that's built up in the body, right? And you see this stiffness, this rigidness, what it can do, it can prevent blood flow to certain areas of the body, right? Like your certain organs, muscles, joints. Osteopaths and chiropractors and all these somatic body workers, what they're doing is that they're trying to release the tension to allow blood flow to come back to the organs. And what that can do then is heal those organs. If you've got a disease, it's often because of deficient blood flow to certain organs. Now, there's an ashram in Bali, Ratu Bagas's ashram, shaking ashram. And people will go there and shake for hours a day, right, for a week. And they will heal themselves of all kinds of chronic diseases, cancer, depression, and all kinds of stuff. And they'll just do what we just did there for like all day long, okay, for a week. And it has these remarkable effects. But we don't have to do it once in our life really intensely. If you do a little bit every day, part of your morning routine, you have a way to shake off the stress, okay? It's great. It's super easy. Now, some people, one person here said, you're dealing with neuropathy, so had to sit down to shake, got dizzy. That's understandable. Again, just takes practice. The first time might be a shock. Edith says she was a little bit sick. Were you sick? I did just a few minutes of this in the sunlight and I feel like a different person. There you go. All right? Sickness also causes tension. Okay? Fantastic. And yeah, most people feel like an electric vibration that feels blissful. That's the best way to describe it, as Zara just wrote here. It's fantastic. Okay, so for those of you who can't do this standing up, okay, it's totally fine. You just need to get your body shaking. You can sit there like this and shake on your chair. I know it looks a bit weird, but you can do it, right? You can find your way to do it. All right. Okay, so let's move on from. So I think you all got the hang of that, of shaking. And on our SOMA Breath app, we have a whole like library of music with dance tracks. So those dance tracks have really good tempos and they're high energy for shaking to. So you can use them as your soundtracks for shaking in the morning. So if you haven't done already, download the SOMA Breath app, put on one of the tracks from the library from there, and we'll be uploading a lot more soon to those libraries for shaking. Shaking is one of my favorite practices. Thank you, Hope. Hope says, I love the app so much. Yeah. Just wait to see the new one that's coming out. It's going to be 10 times better. Okay. So, we talked about the first off switch, okay, which is shaking. Second off switch I'm going to give you, all right, is humming. Humming or chanting Om is my favorite practice to do, especially in the sauna, right? I love doing chanting Om. Okay, it's one of the most incredible feelings you can get when you do it, especially if you do it with people, like in a group, especially if you're doing a sauna in a closed space with that intense heat building up. It can be an amazing ceremonial-like effect. But you can also just chant Om or hum, okay, anywhere. Okay, you can even do it in the car, all right, if you want, when you're driving, it's fine. You're not holding your breath, you're just chanting Om. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a track and we are going to chant Om together, okay, to this soundtrack. And we're going to do it, it's going to be a while we're going to do it for, and it's going to sound really, really nice, okay? And you might have, for a moment, go, oh my God, this is going on too long, right? When's it going to end? And at first, you might feel that way, right? At very first, you might get a little bit bored from doing it. But trust me, you get into the flow and then you just lose yourself in it. That's the goal here, is that your conscious mind, the critical mind, switches off and you just go into this amazing flow state of chanting Om. When you achieve that, then you truly are integrating and releasing all of the stress from the body, right? So any of the stress from the day melts away. And what happens is you connect to something beyond that. And when you do that, it actually is a very beautiful way for you to get into these meditation states where you can actually even manifest better, right? You can use the law of attraction if you're into that. Any kind of prayer is enhanced. That's why a lot of people would ceremoniously, in religious ceremony, hum, chant, and sing together as a group, as a preparation for the prayer, right? We can do that too. And I mean, it doesn't matter what religion you are, what background you are. If you're into things like manifesting and you know, putting wishes out there to the universe, then you can use this as the tool to get into that state, the higher state of consciousness. That's why I love doing this in the sauna. It's like going into my church. So what we're going to do though is we're going to do it in this way. Okay, we're going to do as long tones as possible. Okay, and you're going to do like this. We're going to breathe in as a full yogic breath all the way in from the base, from your diaphragm up into the chest, and then imagine the air is going up to your head fully. And then when we breathe out, when we hum, we're going to go ah. That's the first syllable. Ah, ha, ha. You can play with the pitch. Oh, and you're imagining that first tone is going down the body to the roots. Okay, this is the sound of ah, which stimulates the creative glands. Then hoo. So we go ah. The hoo is into your heart. Hoo. The sound of the heart, right? Activates the thymus glands, the preserving glands. And then the final one, the hoo goes to the and now we're sending the vibration up. Okay? You feel the vibration goes up. This stimulates the nitric oxide that produces this miracle molecule in the body. There's so many health benefits. But the whole sequence turns off the stress response. Okay? It puts you into more of a relaxed, blissful state. Okay? So, we're going to do all three together. So practice it with me right now before we put on the music. Breathing in. Sound good? So we're going to just keep doing that over and over, okay? And you're going to simply just get lost in the sound. And look, you can play with the tone, you can play with the pitch, you can experiment. It's up to you. There's no rules to this, okay? You just go with the flow. The more in tune you are, the more it will resonate inside your heart. So if you can work on being in tune, right? And you'll feel it. When you hit the notes, you'll feel like a resonant frequency inside you. You kind of feel this feeling of being lit up inside when you hit that note. If you can practice on that, that's even a bonus, okay? So let's do it together. And share the sound. Let's go. Oops. Wrong one. This one. So you're getting ready, getting into state. Closing your eyes and just tuning in. And breathing in fully through your nose. And release and start chanting. coming back slowly to normal breathing. Noticing how you feel now. How does that feel? Feel good? Yeah. Relaxed, light. Great. A bit dizzy. Okay. Now, if you feel dizzy doing this, then my best suggestion for you is you need to do the Breathworks challenge on the SOMA Breath app. Okay? This will teach you how to normalize your breathing and to change your breathing habits. Okay, you only need to change what you're doing every day, thousands of times a day, just slightly, and you'll improve your health considerably. Because if you're feeling dizzy, it means you're not getting oxygen efficiently to your body tissue cells. But with a few fixes and using our methods regularly, you can fix that. And that's going to help you prevent diseases, be less anxious, less easily triggered, and generally you're going to be able to cope with stress a lot better, right? So do that course, okay? It's on the SOMA Breath app. It's free. All right, fantastic. It's very powerful. So now we're going to do a variation of this. We're going to do now a rhythmic breathing track with ORM, okay? It's guided and it's produced by another one of our in-house incredible music talents, right? Lasse and Julia, and it's our rhythmic ORM track. It's one of the best tracks probably ever produced for chanting, in my opinion. It's something we do in our retreats in the sauna with the whole group. Also on top of the mountains, in the Alps, in Austria, we have an amazing retreat coming up this August. And it's literally the most transcendental thing you'll ever do. So I'm just going to give you a taste of this for a few minutes. Okay, so again, get back, comfortable. And this time, when you hear the chant of ah, you're going to go ah. The next tone is ooh, the next tone is and it comes in a sequence. You'll hear it shift. So you might need to hear it a couple of times to figure out, but it's very, very easy to do. Okay, you'll get it pretty quick. So let's begin. Oops. Yeah, let's go. So this one. Breathing in. And breathe in. And go. Breathe in. 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 As you're chanting, bring the awareness to your own sound. Turn into a meditation. Coming back to normal breathing. Slowly but surely. Coming back into the present moment. Noticing how you feel now for a few minutes of that. Feeling good? Yeah. So again, all the things I'm playing right now are tracks that are on our SOMA Breath app. Okay? All the tools I'm teaching you right now are all the things that we teach on our app as well. So you can always go download our app. Make sure you download it. Okay? It's available on the App Store, on iOS as well as Android. Get it. And it's got so many amazing tools for you to turn off stress. Okay? It's beautiful, right? Amazing track. You can find that on there too. Plus you find lots of our instructors' classes, and our instructors are amazing at lifting your mood. So we're going to talk a little bit about that now, right? So we can turn off the stress, but what if we want to get into slightly higher states of consciousness as well? So what I often do is I bring in a few different elements into like my practice, okay? So I love chanting, I love breath techniques, but my favorite exercise of them all, okay, because it's great for your physical health, but it's also really good stress reliever, is dancing, all right? It is a bit of a breath rave. So if you want to know the name of the track, you will find it on the app under the Rhythmic Aum section. So it's called Rhythmic Aum. A-U-N. Okay? So dancing is for sure the best stress reliever of them all. Okay? Apart from maybe what you do in the bedroom. But, you know, aside from that, dancing is the best for me. Okay? So you don't have to be able to dance to get all the benefits of dance. Like if you like music, that's important. But you can bounce, you can shake like we just did earlier. You can move, you can breathe, you can stretch, you can play around, right? Have fun. You don't have to be an expert dancer to get the benefits of moving your body. Yeah? So this is the third component of all the things I'm teaching you. Somatic methods of releasing stress in the moment, okay? This is going to begin the journey over the next few weeks. We're going to go deeper into practices and techniques you can use, especially on rewiring the way you perceive stress and fear in the first place. Okay. And also some of you who are on this call, you may actually be people who want to use these techniques to help others. Now, first, let me just get a quick poll. Who's found these techniques useful so far? Right? Feeling good, right? Now, so simple, but if you were able to actually become a functional breath master, someone who's trained in the scientific process, application, methodology, guidance on how to actually use these with other people to create a actual business that is something where you're doing something good and earning a living. Who would be down for that? Give me a signal. Who wants to learn about that? So I'm going to stay back, right? We've got another 15 minutes left or so of this one. I'm going to stay back a bit and I'm going to answer any questions and also share with you more insights into what it means to be a SOMA Breath instructor or coach, a functional breath master, all right? So you can stay back for that. For now, what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you my best, there's nothing to be taught here. You just have fun, all right? And that is using music that you love to have a bit of a boogie, a bit of a dance, get the body shaking and grooving. That's what I like to do, right? Something that's really uplifting and lights you up, right? So let's see what we can play right now for you all. Hold on. So I invite you all to get to upright position. All right. And, well, I mean standing up. And I'm going to just play you some of my new music. This is a time for completely experimenting, I think, today. It's like I'm going to play you something that only I've heard. No one else has heard. It's a brand new track I'm going to play you. We're going to see what you think of this. And then I'm going to mix it in with something you may have already heard before. All right, so if you need to go to the toilet, if you need a pee break, now's your chance. Go and do that. Go on a quick toilet break. Otherwise, we're going to start in about 1 minute. Okay, with a final little movement practice to get us really releasing some stress and changing our state in a positive way. Okay. 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 So let's see who's ready for this. We all ready? Ready to rock on? Okay, so our 270 participants must be enjoying this. Let's do it. So this is brand new, hot off the shelves. Just get into the rhythm and the groove, how you feel. But what we're going to start with is stretching. So I don't just get moving straight away. I mean, I don't get dancing straight away. I have a bit of a stretch. So I'm going to show you a couple of stretches you can do that gets you really loosened up with the breath. Okay. You hear this? Okay. So first, get comfortable. Palms down like this. Okay, now breathe in. Stretch up. Hold for 4, and then stretch down. Hold your breath. 3, 2, 1. Now breathe in again. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out again. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Now back down again. Now keep it, the right arm pointing to the ground by the side, in between your foot and your ankle touching the floor. Stretch out like this now. Breathe in. And then hips, opposite side. Breathe it in and hold it. And now come back up. Now, move your shoulders a bit. Backwards. Forwards. All right. Now you can just spin into a little jog. Lost in the music. Yeah! Epic. Wow, I love my job. I love my life. That's right. And so does every one of our instructors, I think. So you just heard two of my new tracks. Some pretty fat beats, should I say. I love it. Cool. I love it. Everyone's loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Okay. So I think this brings us to the end of this week, but it's not fully the end. What I'm going to allow is, because we did a bit of a dance interlude, if anyone has any question, if they want to come on live, if they want to share any feedback, anything they want to speak about, you can do that now. We're going to take one question, but then we're going to go straight into having a discussion with anyone who wants to become a SOMA Breath instructor, a functional breath coach, somebody who can take people into amazing states of consciousness, but at the same time help them with stress and to help people actually deal with the shit that's going on in the world right now, right? Because it's a lot of shit, all right? Let's be real, okay? So stay back if you want one of them. If anyone wants to ask me any questions, I will take one or two right now.
Use the
So
react button so you can raise your hand. You'll see there's an opportunity for you to raise your hand. By doing so, we'll be able to select you to come and share.
someone just says, I want you to know how monumental it was for me to turn my camera on. I'm extremely shy and it's scary for me to be seen. But I did it and it was fun. So look, this was just a great example of what I'm talking about. Rewiring, reframing what we're scared of, right? Because look, did you die? No, because you wouldn't have written that message otherwise. So what's the worst that can happen when you step outside your comfort zone? It's probably not a lot, all right? So well done. Well done, Edith. Okay. So I'm glad you enjoyed this. And who would love me to come on every week and just do sessions like this? Even every day, maybe. Right? Okay, well, I thought so. I know that all of you would be up for that. So we're going to figure out ways to make way more classes happen more often on the app, right? It's not even like something we have to figure out. It's already happening. It's going to happen, all right? But I will be every week coming live to you every Thursday as we've done for the next 4 weeks this month. Okay. So who was it? Someone was
I'll be bringing
up.
on Jules
Yeah,
first. So Jules had her
Jules.
hand up first.
Okay, Jules.
Hi,
Go
thank
for
you
it.
so much. I just want to, there's a couple of things. I just wanted to show my gratitude to you for nominating me second prize in the scholarship this year. Tim gave me the news and I just, honestly, it's the best thing ever. I wanted to do the course as it is. And I don't know if you remember, I work in mental health. I founded and run a male mental health charity. And so
Yes.
this here really does work. And I'm starting to use it in my coaching, in regulating my guys. And it's just unbelievable, the power of breath, you know. But I just wanted to let you know how much I really, truly am so grateful for you to give me this opportunity.
Amazing. I think was it recently Tim got in touch. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he contacted me literally Christmas Eve, and
Yeah.
I've been to and fro with him beforehand, and you know, obviously, as you can imagine, the work I do, I don't get an awful lot of money,
Of course.
and I couldn't afford it at the time, and so we sort of built up this rapport. But yeah, when he gave me the news, it was the best thing ever. Literally, it's right up there in my whole entire life. It was,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. Other
Well,
than
I'm looking forward.
kids, marriage, yeah, you know,
Yeah. Well, it's up there. Okay, that's
it's
pretty high
right
up.
up there. And honestly, it was the best thing ever. And being an old raver as well, you know, back in the 90s, it's the
Yeah.
perfect course for me. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not, you know, where it's everything healing others starts within. And
Yes.
so for me to get so much enjoyment and so much from it personally to then give
Mm.
out,
Yeah.
it's the best thing ever.
Amazing. Yeah, this
So
is a course for the old ravers. That's what it is.
definitely, I said to him, I thought I was going to hang up my shoes. I've got new ones.
Nice. I love it. This from ravers to sober ravers. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, though.
Amazing. Thanks, Jules. Rock
Thank
on.
you.
Peace. All right. We have one more. Alfruz. I love stories like this. It's fantastic. I love making people's life, not just their day, but their whole life. I love that. Alfruz.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes.
Your sessions are incredibly rich. I can tell the solidity of the foundation and the research behind it. I can't wait. I spoke to Philip about becoming an instructor. I'm working my way towards that, and it's absolutely the most meaningful endeavor I could ever engage in. Just wanted to thank you.
Wow. Beautiful. Well, it means a lot. I'm taking on all these amazing compliments today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That makes me, want to do it even more, right? Sometimes we get our doubts as well. Like we're like, am I doing the right thing? What am I doing here? Am I wasting my time? And then you get a message like that, boom, and it's great. Thank you so much. And I think Jason will also like vouch for that. You know, we go through tough times in house, and sometimes we
You
forget
know,
the lives we're changing here.
Uh, Afruz and Julie, I don't think the timing of you sharing this message could not be any more perfect. Honestly, Niraj, you don't receive these kinds of compliments internally. So I want to just take a moment. So I'm just hosting you, but just from the bottom of my heart, everyone here, please be witness to this. Niraj works so damn hard because he cares so much about bringing you the absolute best when it comes to personal transformation. And as an instructor who wants to go out and be successful with the right tools, I know how hard you've been working on bringing the right tools to the people. There's a surprise that we haven't even revealed to the public, but you've taken the time to re-record the entire level one training, which people are raving about what's already there. And you're like, the bar needs to be higher. And everyone's getting the upgrade. Every instructor joining in are going to get the top. And it's one of the reasons I'm a part of your organization. And, you know, I work with organizations that I can see the founder has a good heart and is on the right mission. And you are that guy. And what you've put behind everything you create is magical. So
Appreciate it,
I
bro.
don't get a chance to share so much love because I'm always like running the numbers, running the business. But
Yeah,
honestly, I think it's a great moment of appreciation. So thank you, Niraj,
I
for doing
appreciate
what you
that.
do.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Wow. Beautiful. I didn't expect so much compliments today, but thank you so much for those of you who shared. So, look, I love reading all these phenomenal messages. Now, what I want to do is now put it back to you. So, if anyone's dealing with a very stressful moment in their life, right? And I've just been through some of it. I think the most intense fear I've had for a long time was escaping the war zone in Dubai just now. And I know people who are still there. And you know what? Yesterday there was this amazing moment of, maybe there's going to be peace, right? And I remember just thinking, oh man, maybe it's time to move back to Dubai because they announced this ceasefire, which lasted 2 minutes. 2 minutes. All right. So, you never know when life's just going to change. You just don't know. We can't control that, right? Um, I know Jules says my husband's in the war zone. Yeah, look, it's crazy time for people right now that we're in, which means we need to be more equipped now than ever, okay? For ourselves, because there's a great, somebody told me this, it's like, yeah, that was it. Like when you're on a plane, they tell you if there's an emergency, to not put your oxygen mask on someone else first, right? They tell you to put it on you first, yourself. Why do they do that? Because in order for you to help someone else, you've got to have oxygen in your brain. Okay? That's the logic. So the same thing goes for all of these practices. You've got to, if you want to help somebody else, you've got to help yourself first. You have to. So help me help you, all right? For the next part. Because if you want to be somebody who wants to transform and change people's lives and make an impact, all right? I'm going to go through a little bit now of what that entails. But what I will say, and everyone who's on our call who's an instructor will vouch for this, is that you will go through your own transformation first. And a lot of people come into this from different backgrounds. Some of you are from already trained in different healthy practices and healing practices and even medical backgrounds and so on and so forth. Still, majority of you find when you go through our training at the beginning, you go through such a powerful transformation yourself because you didn't realize until now the impact your breath has on everything you do in your life, right? You go without food for weeks, water for days, but breathing just minutes. Just minutes. So it really should be the thing you master first. And when you do start mastering it first, when you start learning this, it has such a dramatic impact on everything else. From your mood, your well-being, your ability to make decisions, think clearly, take action. All of it changes because what breathing techniques do when they're done right, the way we do it in SOMA Breath, just scientific, it's precise. I'm a pharmacist, so everything's delivered like a prescription with a dose, right? And when it's correct to the actual traditional teachings, what it does is it upgrades your mitochondria, how you produce energy in the body. You'll go from 1,000 every cell to 4,000 or 5,000 after a course of what we teach. And if you do that for your clients, they become new people. Because most people are operating at like 20-30% of their optimum power, okay? And we all have an inner power. We have life force. We have a certain amount of life force which we can contain. That's our vital capacity. And over time it diminishes. And most people are operating at 20%, 10%, where like batteries are running out and they're on burnout almost every day. But what this does is it changes your capacity for energy. So your reserves go to like 100%. Your capacity goes to 100%. So what happens is you last longer, right? You move more efficiently and you genuinely vibe higher. So if you vibe higher, your mood's better, you start manifesting better because everything you do is a result of how you feel. So if you feel amazing, you start to attract epic stuff into your life. It's just the natural law of attraction. That's the true law of attraction. So that's what happens first. You go through this transformation. Because I believe that if you go through your own transformation with our techniques, you're going to understand those techniques way better than if you just read it on a textbook, right? And what a lot of doctors do is they go to medical school, they learn everything in the textbooks, and then when it gets to practice, they have no idea of what they're doing. And they just sound like robots when they're talking to people because they have no heart or soul in the practice because they've just learned it from textbooks. We don't do that in SOMA Breath. We put you into the process itself to understand why it's working and why it's improving you and why it's helping you. Because you feel it. You feel the change. So that's the first phase of what we do in SOMA Breath. You go through our Breathworks challenge. You learn and embody these techniques. You do. We encourage you to go on as many practice sessions as possible and to devour our practices itself on the app. Like we tell you to do sessions regularly. Because once you build your own habit, then the transformation is inevitable. And then you feel why these things work at a core level so that when you share it with other people, it's just easy. There's no thinking about it. It's just part of you, who you are. And you do it with passion because you need to do things with passion. If you want to make an impact, if you want people to be drawn to you, you need to have passion for it. You're not doing it because it's cool and it supposedly makes money and all these things. Yeah, you can get paid money and earn decent living as a SOMA Breath instructor or a coach, but that's not the main thing. There's a lot of people who do these certifications because they're doing it for money, right? It's the wrong reason. And they're doing it because they're going to earn a certain amount so they don't have to work in their shitty job. A lot of people I've seen from other courses are doing this and making this mistake. Because what happens is when the money doesn't come in straight away, you get frustrated. And then you either start doing dodgy things to sell your classes, or your heart's not in it because you're not making money, and then you give up, which is the wrong way to go about it. But when you transform yourself, right, from within, and your life changes as a result, and all the things in your life start to get easier, then money doesn't matter anymore. You're not doing it for money. You're doing it from a soul level. You're doing it for purpose. You're doing it with mission, power, right? There's a different force. You move differently. You take action differently when you're going from a soul level rather than some analytical level, right? So that's what my job is at the beginning, is to get you into a soul alignment with our products, because you've noticed a change at a core level, all right? That's what you go through first. And then we will train you through different levels of certification, all the way up to the transformational coaching level, if that's what you choose, or up to a breath master level, where you are a master of functional breathing, but also transformational breathing practices, which is using our modality, the SOMA awakening technique, and our rhythmic breathing techniques with music, as well as the breathing retraining techniques. The stuff like I taught you today, which is all about changing your states, turning off stress, somatic techniques. We have a whole holistic school, and each level builds upon the last to give you a complete holistic understanding of the breath, okay? So if this is something you're really interested in doing, right, and you want to lead classes and take people on powerful journeys and you get part of our amazing community, our community has been going 8 years and just keeps getting bigger and better and stronger, right? We get more and more people coming to it. The SOMIs have their own kind of like world going on, where there's like meetup groups all over the world, different locations. I heard about, there's one in England with like 100 people in it, and they meet up and stuff. And then there's ones in America going on. There's one with just doctors. I've learned that there's one with doctors where all these medical professionals are doing SOMA Breath every morning. So there's all these different communities all over the place, which means if you're somebody who's also a little bit feeling, isolated, like maybe you feel a bit alien where you are, because nobody else gets you. Who here feels like that sometimes? Like where, like you're the only one who seems to understand this stuff, and everyone around you is like living in some kind of weird bubble, where they don't really care about these things. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. I mean, I had that for a while, where I couldn't talk to my friends, my so-called friends, and even my family. I'd get ridiculed a little bit, talking about breathing practices and eating healthy. It was weird. Back then, like 15 years ago, if you told somebody to eat healthily by not eating so much sugar, right? I'm talking like in around not that early, around 2010, 2009, I still got attacked if I told people that eating sugar could cause diabetes. It's beyond belief that back then, it wasn't that long ago, people didn't realize processed foods in a factory make you sick, right? It was wild. I used to get attacked for it, okay? Now everyone knows it's normal, right? That's completely true. So the same thing's going on now. Like all these spiritual practices like breathwork, all of that are becoming more demystified. There's still a bit of a doubt in people's minds still out there. Bit of education still needs to happen, but people are waking up. But still you can feel a little bit alone and disconnected. That's why having a tribe of very like-minded people who fully get it and get you, is really good. It's like having an extended family. That's how I see the SOMA Breath community. And the cool thing I've now got is friends all over the world in many different locations. I can go anywhere and do a little meet up, and there'll be a bunch of instructors who come and meet me. I remember the last one we did in Dubai was amazing. I made so many good friends from that. So, that's all the things you get from being a SOMA Breath instructor. You get the transformation of going through the courses yourself, but you also get to lead people through the most powerful breathwork experiences. Breathwork is a huge buzzword right now. It's a big trend, a lot of demand for it. But then you can also learn functional breathing. So there's a lot of courses that just teach you how to get people high on a yoga mat and have these out-of-body experiences. That's just one aspect of what we do, and it's done in a much more therapeutic, scientific way. But we also have the functional breathing to help people with asthma, blood pressure issues, chronic pain, fitness, stamina, athletic performance. We have techniques for all of that. And we also have protocols for that. And then we also have transformation coaching, which can help people with trauma and very deep-seated stress and PTSD. So we will actually be covering these topics in the next few weeks. But as a SOMA Breath instructor or transformation coach, you get the whole training, right, included.
I wanted to bring this up, Niraj. This is actually what's people looking for on Google. It's like monitoring trends. So instructors pay attention to this. The interest in breathwork is at the highest it's ever been, which is a great signal for the awakening happening in the world. But it's also why we need more instructors, because there's more and more people that are looking for instructors in their neighborhoods. So this is a trend that's kind of where meditation was 15 years ago, and we're at the cutting edge.
Yes. And the thing with the breath is it's also a form of meditation. So our core methodology is breath meditation, right? It's the oldest form of meditation is breath awareness. So when you observe the breath and breathe in a rhythm, music, that's what we're doing in our SOMA Breath practices, you are getting into a meditative state. So all the benefits of meditation come from our breath meditations, or our SOMA Breath sessions are breath meditations at its core. Yeah? So there you go. So meditation is also huge. So many people want to learn how to meditate. You can teach them a very easy and profound way to meditate. And also you can actually help people who find it very hard to do traditional meditation, even though the easiest form is breath meditation. You can give them breath work, SOMA Breath, as an alternative, right? So you can piggyback off the massive trend that is meditation already, right? Yoga, huge. So if you're a yoga teacher right now, you can plug SOMA Breath classes into your existing class or routines, all right? That's what you can do. So anyone got any questions about this training?
While people are submitting some questions, I wanted to also do one more thing. Since we talked about the scientifically validated effects of a breath work, we started the journey today with a survey of how people were feeling, and I'd love to be able to see if we've made a shift with today's session. And so I'm going to see we were at this level of 5.9, and now I'm going to reset the survey and ask everyone once again to rate how are you feeling right now from 1 to 10 to see if we've had an effect on the people that have joined the session today. And I think this will be a powerful way of seeing, just from the techniques you have learned with Niraj today, what effect it has had on the body. And I think we're already getting to see what happens when you have a tool like breathwork at your disposal, how fast you can create results for yourself, and how you can create ripples for those around you as well.
Yes. Amazing. Powerful.
I think this is one of the highest rating we've ever had after a session, Niraj.
Wow. And you know what? How simple that was. We just moved the body, right? When you get the body moving, you change your state so quickly. And there's no better way than a bit of shaking and a bit of dancing. And a bit of chanting. That's it. Simple.
Amazing.
Right.
And so at this time, we're going to ask the team to share inside the chat a link where you can actually read more about the programs. You actually get a chance to apply. And the reason you apply to become an instructor is we want to know your why. the reason why you want to become an instructor, what impact you're looking to make is very important for us to know. And then you'll get a chance to book a call with our team who will share all the details about our programs. If you have questions about pricing, book the call. They'll talk to you about all the ways you can get started. And accessibility is one of our core values. So we're going to meet you where you're at. So if there's any spark in you that wants to potentially see enhancing your current practice or maybe making a career change and seeing if becoming an instructor is right for you, book a call, have a chat with our team. They're lovely people who want to know more about your goals, your ambitions, and see if we can be a part of that journey. And being a breathwork instructor with SOMA Breath is right for you. So link is there, all the details, the application form, booking a call. You'll be taken step by step. And there's no obligations when you book a call. It's just a chance to have a conversation with a SOMI who will ask you some cool questions to see how we can support you. For that being said, if there are any question, it sounds like Jules is looking to upgrade to the masters with Tim. So yeah, Tim, I mean, if you've had anybody who's had a conversation with Tim, who's one of our team members, can share some of their experience. He's a wonderful gentleman. He wants to connect soul to soul, heart to heart, and see if this is a right path for you. We have Edvin, we have Kira, we have Billy. They're all wonderful individuals, and they're instructors themselves. They're going to guide you on this path and show what can support you based on where you're at right now. And so any other questions that are related to the instructor program, we'll stick around to answer that. What I will announce as a future session is it will be World Breathing Day on Saturday. And we're doing a special session with Niraj happening this Saturday. So if you want to participate in our World Breathing Day session, it'll be at the same time as when the session started here, which is 10 a.m. Eastern Time. This Saturday, we're coming together to celebrate World Breathing Day. Niraj, is there anything else you want to add about the session we're doing on Saturday? Because it'll be a special one.
We're going to do a combination of what we did, a bit of moving, shaking, and going deep on the breath. So we're going to go on a journey. And we're going to really, the idea is that, with SOMA Breath, everyone's breathing at the same rhythm at the same time. So we're going to create this group coherence. So I'm going to create a powerful visualization for that, because imagine the whole world is breathing in unison. Like, that's it. End of wars, end of suffering, end of nonsense. That's
Amen. So World Breathing Day happening this Saturday. Come and join. And then we're going to continue every Thursday at this time. We're going to have another session on our Stress Awareness Month. You've learned some powerful techniques today. There's so much more in the toolkit of SOMA Breath. You just touched the tip of the iceberg. We're going to have more to learn next Thursday with Niraj. And so definitely keep an eye on those emails. We'll send you some details on what's coming up. And it's always starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And you'll see it's going to be represented in your own time zone. You can add it to your calendar. It'll convert it beautifully. And again, if there's any instruction, people considering becoming instructors, we're going to put the link one more time into the chat. You guys can see all the details there. We'd love to invite you into our community. And that'll be the end of the session for today. I would say expect each session to be about the same time as we went for today. It's a 2-hour session. We really go deep. And so always budget that amount of time. And to answer the question that is asked the most amount of times every time we do sessions, yes, the answer is yes. There will be replays. Replays will always be available if you need to catch up. We know you're asking, and we will answer it as many times as we need to answer it to make sure that you don't miss out on all the wonderful things we want to bring to you for free. This is, as I mentioned, one of the core values at SOMA Breath is accessibility, which is why we bring you these live sessions. We want to get you breathing together. We make the replays accessible so that we can get the world to be in a better place one breath at a time. And so with that, I don't see any questions. So we're just going to put up the link. The best person to answer any of your question is going to be on a call with you to support you for anything that's personal to you. And so thank you so much for the hundreds of you that have participated today. Niraj, any closing words?
Looking forward to seeing you all on Saturday. And until that time, keep practicing. And you all learned some techniques today, so use them. See you in the next one.
And I'm going to only show my technique I know about being a host, which is creating some really cool lasers because I'm on a MacBook. And I will end with that and say, that song, Niraj, oh my God, when do we get access to that song?
Which one? The first one?
Oh yeah, the first one. I was
Yeah, it's
like,
really good in there.
it may, I think they call this the millennial face when a song drops and you have to go like, that was
we
it.
got
That was the
yeah,
song.
we got some beats, man. We got some beats.
The
I
best
agree.
music for, but honestly, like where do we find that song? When is it going to
It's
be?
a very new. It's not finished yet. So I'm
Not
glad you
finished yet.
approved. Glad you
Yes,
approved.
highly approved. And there's an entire suite of music for those of you who are not instructors yet that you can mix into your classes, which makes you the coolest breath instructor when you're a Soma Breath instructor. So, a little spice on top of everything else. I will end it here. Niraj, again, thank you for everything today. And for everyone here, Saturday's the next session. We have Breathe Together Sunday, and we have our Thursday next week that will continue on the Stress Awareness Month. So you guys get to hang out without a lot, and it's all bringing positive benefits. So